It was a stormy night, the kind where the skies seemed to weep for someone's sorrow. On the side of a deserted road, under the flickering light of a broken street lamp, stood a woman in a torn sari, her eyes swollen from hours of crying, her arms tightly wrapped around a shivering little boy. The boy was no older than 5, clinging to her like she was the last safe thing in the world. A single suitcase lay beside them, everything they owned now fit in that box. That woman's name was Rachel, and her son was Eli. They had just been thrown out of the grand house that once echoed with laughter and promises. Her in-laws had turned cold the moment her husband passed away in a car accident 6 months ago. They claimed Eli was not truly their blood. Whispers turned into accusations. Then one day, Rachel returned from the hospital after Eli's asthma attack to find the locks changed. A servant handed her a cruelly brief letter: "You are no longer welcome. Don't come back." With nowhere to go, no family of her own, Rachel did the only thing she could: walk. That's when David, a 38-year-old single father, saw her. David was on his way back from a late-night shift. A carpenter by profession, he lived a humble life with his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, in a small 2-bedroom house on the outskirts of town. He was used to fixing broken things: tables, chairs, windows, but that night, he found something broken that couldn't be fixed with nails and glue: a woman's hope. He didn't ask questions. He didn't care about judgments. All he saw was a mother and child in need. He offered them a place to stay, just for the night. That night turned into days, then weeks. David's house was small, but his heart was large. Rachel offered to leave 100 times, and each time David said the same thing: "Everyone deserves a second chance. You and your son too." At first, Rachel was quiet, broken, almost ghost-like. But slowly, with Lily's innocent friendship and David's silent support, she began to smile again. She started helping around the house, cooking meals, sewing clothes for Lily and Eli, and later helping David manage his accounts. Eli, who had been shy and anxious, began to laugh, play, and even call David Uncle Dave. The 4 of them slowly became something that none of them had expected: a family. But peace never comes easy. One day, Rachel received a letter. Her late husband's aunt, a woman she barely knew, had passed away. In her will, she had named Eli as a beneficiary, but only if a DNA test confirmed his lineage. Rachel was stunned. She had never questioned Eli's parentage. He was her late husband's son. But when she dug deeper, she found a shocking truth: her husband had been the estranged son of Victor Donovan, one of the richest men in the country, who had disowned him decades ago for marrying outside their class. Victor Donovan, now old and ailing, had no heirs. The DNA test confirmed it: Eli was not just a child with nowhere to go, he was the heir to a billion-dollar empire. The news exploded like a storm. Reporters hounded the small house. The same in-laws who once threw her out now came knocking, begging for forgiveness. Lawyers, wealth managers, and journalists tried to reach Rachel, offering her promises wrapped in gold and deception. But amidst all the noise, Rachel turned to David and asked only one question: "Will you still let us stay?" David didn't blink. "You were never here because you had nothing. You were here because you deserved everything." Rachel could have left. She could have taken Eli to the mansion that now had his name on the gate. But she didn't. She chose to stay in David's home a little longer. She wanted Eli to grow up knowing what real love looked like, not just marble floors and chandelier ceilings. Eventually, she did move, only to a better neighborhood with a bigger house where David and Lily moved with them. David resisted at first, insisting he didn't need charity. But Rachel looked him in the eye and said, "You didn't give us charity. You gave us family. Let me return that." The final scene of the story is a sunny afternoon. Eli is running in the garden with Lily, both children laughing freely. Rachel watches from the porch, her eyes glistening, not with tears of sorrow, but with gratitude. And beside her, David holds her hand. They aren't perfect people. But they built something perfect: a home built on trust, kindness, and love. A home that started from nothing and ended with everything. Moral of the story: it's not blood or wealth that makes a family. Sometimes, the richest people are the ones who have nothing, yet give everything. And sometimes, the ones thrown out of palaces find their true kingdom in a carpenter's heart.